Okay, this is a third update, or the third video on this Motobecane Le Champ I bought August 22nd, 2019. So it's a little over a year old now. And I've got I'm estimating about 8,000 miles on it. Now I had to change the chain. I think the chain lasted me about 6,000 and was out to 1%. Maybe a little, probably ran a little longer than they recommend. But anyway, I didn't have any trouble with the cassette. Although, let's back up. Briefly put on the 1134 cassette, and it's only good for steep hills, in my opinion. You don't have the 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 that you have on this one. There's too big of jumps down here, and at your 18 to 25, 26 mile an hour range, you have these big jumps. Sorry, I didn't realize my voice was going, but anyway, just love the bike. I had to change I had to change a rear and a front tire, so I think those lasted about 5,000. Yeah, of course the rear one always wears out faster, but anyway, and I just probably not recommended, but I've just gotten kind of careless. I just hose the thing off, blast it off with a hose, and with titanium, corrosion isn't a problem. And after I do that, I dry everything, the rag here, and then I use this material. There are a number of different materials similar to this. I'm not recommending this brand or anything. And this is a wax-based chain lube that I just find, it doesn't get as dirty in here as using the petroleum-based lubricants. And I don't really spend a lot of time on maintenance here, just lube it. I did clean this up when I had taken it off to try that 1134 briefly, but it just wasn't acceptable. So I put this back on, which is a Shimano 105. I think it was around 40 bucks. It's not Ultegra level, but it's just fine. Anyway, so that's it. The bike's got about 8,000 miles on it. Terrific bike. And today I'm kind of high because with this COVID situation and at my age, I don't. Well, there just aren't the regular group rides that I had going on here 15 years ago, even 5 years ago. The Tuesday, Thursday ride kind of dissolved. And the Saturday, Sunday ride here, this is Santa Barbara I'm talking about, that kind of, well, they're still going on. But today, I love riding in groups. I know it's crazy. Well, if you're a cyclist, you know what I'm talking about. There's just something about the energy of riding with a bunch of, I'm talking about competitive riders that kind of know what's going on, and they they have a little bit of they like to race. So anyway, I miss that somewhat, but today it's like I think like there's no coincidences. Let me bring this up here. This is I did 57 miles today, and I'll put it up on Strava. Because on the way back, I got up to the top of Bates here in Carpinteria, Bates and 150, and I saw this huge group coming towards me on 150, and I ended up riding with them all the way down to Ventura. I had just been down there and gotten back. Anyway, it was a hell of a lot of fun, and I think that we had a little bit of a tailwind, and so that helped out. And there's a little hill down there at Emma Wood the hill, but just before you go onto the bike path. And here I am, 77 years old, and people are trying to get around me. You know, they just look at me and go, "Oh God, you know, this guy's gonna screw us up here." So, I mean, I've been young. I know what you're thinking, but so I just thought, well, just sit here. You know, I was doing fine, and I'm sitting about halfway up this group of about 50, and I was on the downwind. I was shielded from the wind. You guys know what I'm talking about. I was off to the left. The wind's coming from the right, so I was in a good position. And I thought, well, just, you know, don't be an idiot. But I'm an idiot. And a couple guys started to move up on the left in front of me, and that just, oh man, it gets my interest. So I started following them, and so we're moving, advancing up the ranks. And then I go, God damn, here, all of a sudden, you know, I'm getting the slingshot effect. I'm on the right side, and I ended up being the first guy up the hill. What a moron. Anyway, it was a lot of fun, and it'll maybe be on Strava if you care to look at it. Oh, yeah, my name is Steve Close, so I don't know if you can find me. But anyway, but the main thing is, this bike, I love it. I mean, nobody has an edge over me because of their bike. This Le Champion, it's all Ultegra, and it cost under $2,000. I mean, that's insane. And the wheels, it's not the very top of the line DT Swiss. It's the DT Swiss P1800, but it's a terrific wheel. And I've noticed I've had these rust on some cheaper brands, but these don't seem to be rusting. And I don't even dry them off, you know. They'll probably, oh well, because they're not stainless steel, they're aluminum, and those will tend to rust. But I haven't had any trouble. They seem quite. You can see they're doing quite well. Everything's fine. Okay. Terrific bike. You won't be sorry. So long.